Hello and welcome to this tasty episode of College Kitchen. Today we're going to be making a sweet treat. It's called a Mocha chip pie, and here is what you need. We're going to need some chopped up toffee bar candy, like that, roughly chopped. We're going to need chocolate wafers filled with icing, also known as Oreos, which I chopped up there. I got the mini ones because they're already small, and then I finally chopped them a little bit more. We're going to need some lovely chocolate chips, and then we're going to need some sliced toasted almonds, and then things that aren't here are stuff that's in our freezer. We're going to end up needing a quart of coffee ice cream, and then of course a pie crust. Got all that, and we can get started on our pie. Okay, the one ingredient I forgot is butter, and that's the first thing we're going to use. 3 tablespoons, we're going to pop it in the microwave to melt it, and then you'll see what we'll do with it next. Okay, our butter's melted. Take it out. And what we're going to do with this great smelling melted butter is pour it over our crushed up Oreo cookies. Once you pour it over, make sure you get every last drop. Make this nice and tasty. Get out a spoon and mix it up. Make sure the butter evenly coats all the Oreos you got in here. Oh, the sweetness of the cookies and the savory smell of that butter, to die for. Okay, so now that we got them all mixed up, next we're going to take our pie crust, which has been in the freezer so it's nice and cold, and we're going to crush these cookies and butter into the pie crust so it's really flat. Feel free to use your hands. Okay, now that my hands are nice and dirty, see how flattened this is, and it almost provides a second crunchy crust at the bottom. We're going to pop this in the freezer for 10 minutes, and then we're going to add more layers to our pie. "10 minutes. Okay. Now that 10 minutes have gone by, we're ready to make our next layer. We're going to mix a quart of coffee ice cream, which has been softened and slightly melted because we can't stir it if it's rock hard. And then a cup of the finely chopped, roughly chopped, however you want to do it, of the toffee candy bar. And then some toasted almonds. So, pour those in, and then stir it up so it's extremely well mixed. Okay, so once it's all mixed, it's going to be a nice melted consistency. We're going to pour it on top of our pie crust. Very carefully, because this could get messy. Alrighty, flatten it out, like we do all the time. That now looks tasty, I want to eat it already. Now we're going to pop this back in the freezer for another 30 minutes so the ice cream gets nice and hard again. And then we'll add one more layer. Come back. Okay, so it's been about 30 minutes, but before we take our pie out of the freezer, we need to prepare our last layer, which is a cup of chocolate chips and 1 tablespoon of butter. All the paper has been removed. Yes. And so we're going to pop this in the microwave for 1 minute so that it melts. We're going to stir it up, see if it's fully melted, and if it's not, we'll pop it in for another 30 seconds, and then we're going to drizzle it on top of our pie. See you in a minute. 2, 1. It's ready. Now that is definitely not melted at all. So I'm going to stir it up. So after stirring it, you see that the chocolate chips really did soften a lot, and it's almost fully melted. So I'm going to pop in the microwave for just 25 seconds, and we should be good to go. 3, 2, 1. Let's see. Okay, I think we're definitely good to go this time. Yep. Nice and soft. Our butter is fully mixed into it. Let's get our pie out of the freezer. Look at that. Nice and hardened. And I think we're ready to top. Okay, so let's top now that this finally got melted. We shall top our pie with our melted chocolate. Just drizzle it as evenly as possible as a top layer. Okay, now that we got that all topped, nice and chocolatey, we're going to sprinkle just 2 tablespoons of the toasted almonds on top. Gives it a nice little garnish and fresh crunch at the top. Now look at that. I'm going to pop it in the freezer for just 5 minutes, and then I promise after that we're ready to try. We just want to chill the chocolate so that it's all the same temperature. Alright? So guess what's all chilled? Our pie. Let's take it out. Oh, there it is. Are you finally ready for us to have a bite of this? Let's go. So I cut myself a piece of our pie, and boy do we have a messy but so sweet and tasty pie on our hands. Let's have a bite. Mmm. Mmm. I think this is one of my favorite pies I've ever made. It was so easy because you didn't use any heat. It's got crunch. It's got the great coffee flavor, which I'm a huge fan of, almost as much as cheese. And it was simple. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode of College Kitchen. I hope you try this mocha chip pie at home and come back for another episode. See you later.